Alright, so Battlefield 6 just released, so I just gathered all the stats from in the game to give you this basic time to kill chart. So these are all the stats gathered from in the game. You got all your weapons here divided by class, so assault rifles, carbines, SMGs, LMGs, DMR, sniper, shotgun, secondaries. You got your ADS speed in milliseconds, reload, bullet velocity, magazine capacity, rate of fire, damage, headshot multiplier, headshot damage, so shot to kill, and then time to kill over here. This is just your basic time to kill point blank range, so this doesn't factor in range, all that kind of stuff. Damage fall off, so that's going to require some testing, which would require unlocking all these weapons, which would require playing the game quite a bit. So this is just going to be a basic starter until the rest of the stats can be gathered and the chart can be completed based on range and that kind of stuff. So it's just your basics here. So time to kill, basically the fastest time to kill is going to be in red. Within 50 milliseconds, the fastest time to kill is going to be orange. Within 100 milliseconds is yellow. Within 150, light green. Within 200, dark green. And then within 250, light blue. And so on and so forth. But so far, it's only up to light blue. So that's the farthest the time to kill separates, but it should be quite different based on range and stuff. But just go through all the weapons here. So fastest time to kill in milliseconds for the assault rifle is going to be the M433, the gun you start with, unlocked, 217 milliseconds. Has a pretty decent rate of fire, so not bad. B36 also not bad. TR7 and the Cord 6P67. Those are within 50 milliseconds, and then the yellows are going to be within 100, and then the worst one's going to be the AK4D, which is within 150 milliseconds, so it's 133 milliseconds slower than the M433. But it does 33 damage, so if they're at full health, it's going to take 4 shots, but if they've taken any damage at all, it's only going to take 3 shots, which makes the time to kill 233. So, or if you mix in one headshot, whereas all the other weapons you're going to have to do all headshots to lower the time to kill, or the shots to kill by 1 to lower the time to kill. So all headshots is not very reasonable, whereas one headshot mixed in there to lower the bullets to kill, the time to kill is reasonable. So this could be reasonable as long as you're hitting that one headshot. So the TR7 would actually be really, really good if you get that one headshot in there, or if they're hurt at all, even 1 damage. Same for the NVO 228, 167 milliseconds, 183 milliseconds, very fast, faster than the 217 for the M433. So those are the assault rifles. And you got your carbines. The M4A1 is going to be your fastest at 200 milliseconds time to kill, 900 rounds per minute, so a very fast rate of fire. And then all the orange ones are going to be within 50 milliseconds, so they're pretty good. M417 within 100 milliseconds, and the AK205 not very good. So at least the M4A17 has that one headshot potential to lower the time to kill and the bullets to kill to 183 milliseconds, which is very fast. The SG553 also has that same potential, 167, which would be the fastest if you mix in one headshot or they even taken 1 damage at all. So that could be really good. The SG553R, but I think that's the last one that you unlock in the carbines. But all of them are pretty reasonable except the AK205. But then recoil factors in too, so if the recoil is really laser beaming, it might be okay for people who can't control the recoil, but still that's pretty bad time to kill compared to the rest. Then your SMGs, so the KV9 is going to be the fastest there because it has 1080 rounds per minute and does 25 damage, so it's only 4 shots to kill like a lot of the other ones, but fastest fire rate by far, but you only have a 17 round magazine, so not going to be able to kill probably more than 1 or 2 people at a time with that. Definitely going to need extended mag to make that usable in most situations, but has the fastest time to kill. And then the SGX is within 50 milliseconds, the rest are within 100 besides these two, so UMG 40 is not that great, and then the PW782 is the worst of the bunch. SCW 10 could be good as long as you mix in that one headshot or they have 1 damage also. 150 milliseconds is very fast, faster than the KB9 even, but that's going to require 1 headshot in the mix or the enemy not to be at full health. And you have your LMGs here, so the fastest is going to be the M123K at 217 milliseconds. These are going to be within 50. This is going to be within 100. So the only two bad ones are going to be the RPKM and the KTS 100 MK8. But the RPKM can be redeemed with that one headshot, or if the enemy's not at full health, because 217 milliseconds if it takes 3 shots. So all it takes is one headshot in there, or one damage already taken by the enemy, and they can be a very fast time to kill. Whereas KTS 100 doesn't have any redeeming for there, so nothing to speed it up. Whereas these other ones, if you mix in one headshot, can be very fast too. So the M60, one headshot in the mix, 167 milliseconds, very fast. And then the M240L, if you get one headshot in there, it's 200 milliseconds. So pretty good if you get one headshot in there, but you definitely need to get that one headshot on these two to be more competitive with the other ones. Whereas the M60 is really good, even if you don't get the headshot, but if you do get the headshot, it's going to be the fastest killing LMG. Up close anyway. And then you got your DMRs here, so they're all the same basically in time to kill, 400 milliseconds. So it's just basically your preference here, rate of fire. So you got 2 shots to kill, 3 shots to kill, or 4 shots to kill, but time to kill is going to be the same. Whereas the M39 EMR, not the greatest. It's the slowest time to kill out of all of them, but it's only going to be a 2-shot if you mix in one headshot. So, but same for these two, so can lower the time to kill drastically if you mix in one headshot. This would be a 1-shot headshot, and this would be a 2-shot headshot. So SVDM is going to be better than the M39, unless the recoil is considerably different. But the only thing going for the M39 EMR is going to be your bullet velocity compared to the SVDM, 800 compared to 640. Not sure if that's worth it or not, but DMR, you're going to be more long range, so it could come into play. Then you got your sniper rifles, so they're all going to be a 1-shot within that sweet spot. So it doesn't say in the game stats what that sweet spot is, so I have to look more into that. But outside of that sweet spot, it's probably going to be 2 shots to the body, but it's always going to be a headshot. 1-shot headshot with that 1.75 headshot multiplier, except maybe at like super extreme range, but we'll have to see how that goes. Then you got your shotguns here, so they're all going to be 1-shot except the 18.5 KS-K. That's going to take 2 shots to kill, but it's the fastest firing one at 300 rounds per minute, whereas the other one's 294. So this is going to be your slowest shooting gun, but I would assume it's going to have the most range for that 1-shot potential. But we'll see. We'll have to see how the ranges work out. Hopefully they don't go too far on the range. Should be only close range 1-shot, but we'll see. And then you got your secondary weapons, so your pistols. Your starting one is 450 millisecond time to kill, which isn't great. Not going to compete with any of the other primary weapons. The M44 is going to be your fastest time to kill at 368. It's the highest damage, but also the lowest magazine capacity, so it's a 6-round revolver, I believe. And then the other two are pretty terrible. So the M45A1 is only reasonable if you get that 1 headshot in there, or if they've taken any damage at all. If they're at full health, it's going to take 4 shots, but if you get 1 headshot mixed in, or they've taken at least 1 damage, 3 shots, which would be the fastest time to kill of the secondary weapons, right in front of this one by 1 millisecond. But it requires at least 1 headshot or them to have taken damage. So yeah, that's it so far. I'll keep updating this as the information comes out, as I unlock the weapons and do some of the testing in the fire range, or if like SimGG releases all the stats, because they data mine the stats, that would be a lot more useful, so we can see how the weapons perform at ranges, because that's going to be more important than the point blank for a lot of the weapons, like the assault rifles and the DMRs, the LMGs, that kind of stuff. Whereas SMGs, carbines, those are going to be good for up close, but probably not that good at long range. But mid-range to long range is going to be more important for like the assault rifles and LMGs and stuff. But yeah, that's it for this one. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything missing from this chart that you think would be worth adding to it. That would be useful to make it more complete, more usable. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.